When you have as large a player base as Call of Duty does, word spreads around fast, even if it's complete nonsense, and thus over the years we've had many myths evolve in the community. YouTubers have also played their part too in spawning these ideas, which we'll be getting into when we look at some of the biggest myths in Call of Duty games, beginning on COD 4 with the G-Shot. Now, long story short, the G-Shot is meant to be a no-scope shot in Call of Duty 4 that goes dead-eye straight every time, using a technique of strafing and pulling the trigger at the correct moment when the crosshairs are resetting. Long story long is this shot was popularised by the absolute pioneer known as Grizz on YouTube. This guy is like the godfather, the codfather, if you will, of snipers, quickscopers, trickshotters in COD games. I mean, he was making montages which would blow your mind back in the day, racking up insane views for the time too, an absolute legend that inspired a generation of COD YouTubers. But anyways, back to the G-Shot. Grizz released a couple tutorials on how to do the G-Shot, in which you can see he's getting some no-scopes which make you think there's, you know, he's onto something. I know nostalgia can be a touchy subject though, so I'm gonna preserve my own safety and not totally deconstruct this myth. However, I will say there is a lot of confirmation bias going on here. We just conveniently forget all the times he misses his shot using the G-Shot method. Suppose you could say he just didn't do it right in that instance, but overall it didn't stop me ploughing hours of my 12-year-old life into no-scoping in COD 4. I salute you, Grizz. Next up, another COD 4 myth perpetuated by YouTubers. I swear it was so easy to spread bullshit back then just because there were so few COD YouTubers could have a jolly old time with that, just like this guy did when he uploaded a video called The Ghost of Vacant. I'm already well interested in this. The video starts off with some backstory, it's got some creepy dramatic music, which I can't play for copyright reasons, although I'll add my own, and well, I'll just let the start of the video speak for itself. I'm thinking the same, what the fuck is that? It even goes a step further when the person claims they could hear a breathing noise, but they're the only player in the game. Some serious spooky shit. And you know it's not fake because, well, he says it isn't. Seriously though, there's some gullible kids out there that would lap this up. Just look at some of the comments from years ago. I used to actually go into the map and look for the ghost. I watched this back in 2008 when I was like 7 or 8, and even though I know it's fake, I'm still too scared to play the map on my own. I don't even know why, it's just psychologically fucked me up, sad face. Damn. It wasn't the only ghost video either, you had the ghost of Backlot too, so that map was now off limits also. What the hell even is this myth again? Oh yeah, the myth that there's ghosts in COD 4 maps. There you go. I remember a lot of players wrongly thinking you could snipe the pilot out of the attack helicopter in COD 4 to bring it down. I don't blame them either, because you do that in the campaign, it makes sense that it should be possible in multiplayer, but nope. Part of me kinda wishes this was real. Imagine G-Shot and a helicopter pilot's dome right out of the sky. Now that would be montage material. Zombies has far too many myths for me to cover in one video, and there's dedicated zombies channels out there that have that covered anyway, but I have to shout out my favourite zombies myth that still affects how I play old school zombies to this day through sheer force of habit, and that is opening the box while the question marks are lit up the brightest gives you a better chance of getting the ray gun or a good weapon in general. This is another one of those myths that you have to have a very selective memory with, somehow forgetting all the times the box gave you utter shit, and remembering that one time it gave you the ray gun when you timed it just right. I fucking told you so, you tell your friends after telling them, okay guys, this time, the previous 10 attempts before that. Moving on to Modern Warfare 2, where people genuinely believed that you could get a nuke in a care package. It's just very rare. Honestly, no matter how adamant your mate is that they once got a nuke in a care package, or that they once seen someone else get one, they did not. At least, not legit, anyway. It's not a 1 in 100 chance, not even a 1 in a million chance, there's just no chance that's what you've got, as Vince McMahon would like to. Anyway, the highest streak you can get from a care package is an EMP. You also can't get the emergency airdrop from one either, so like in the videos I'm showing you right now, the only way you'd ever see a nuke in a care package is if you are in a modded, or in other words, infected lobby. Maybe your mate has seen it happen, then you should probably apologise for calling them a barefaced liar who you'd never liked anyway and removed them from your friends list. They just didn't know they were in a dodgy lobby is what I'm trying to say. Imagine it was possible though, being able to end the game for getting a 4 kill streak. That takes the term overpowered to a whole other level. Also, it's the same with Moabs and MW3, not available in care packages, they're sold out. Speaking of nukes though, there's always been that myth that an EMP can stop a nuke, which is false. People still claim it to be the case in my comment sections too, which shows how deeply ingrained this myth is. People have proved it time and again. Once the nuke is called in, you're past the point of no return. You could indeed stop a nuke from being called in while the EMP is up, of course, but that's not quite as exciting as what people were hoping was possible. Sorry to let you down. And speaking of the EMP, people have long joked about the announcers shouting EMP, our electronics are down, thinking he's shouting that over his radio, which is using electricity, but he's actually not. He isn't on the radio at all, he's just shouting. Listen again compared to other lines from him.
Enemy emergency airdrop incoming! Electronics are down!
Not even going to pretend to be all high and mighty as if I knew that for a long time. I literally only learned this was the case last year after a long time of slagging off Infinity Ward for this so-called mistake. And it's not a myth, my voice just broke. I'll tell you something else that isn't a myth, that by subscribing to the channel and clicking the bell icon to join the notification squad, you become an absolute legend like these two mythbusters right here. Just letting you know. For a while at the start of Black Ops life at least, I recall players believing that you could blow up the rocket in the map launch. Similarly to the pilot sniping scenario, people believed this because you do it in the campaign and also in the zombies map Ascension, but multiplayer is the exception and no amount of firepower blasted at it will blow this sucker up. Skill based matchmaking. Here's an actual myth that is still yet to be 100% confirmed or busted, at least for every COD game. If you don't know what this is, it's basically the concept that players get matched up in lobbies with other players based on their skill, whether it's KDE, win ratio, score per minute, etc. With each new COD game, players complain more and more about skill based matchmaking. Some players even take it upon themselves to reverse boost, deliberately making their own stats worse so they have a better chance to come up against bad players. This was especially the case in Advanced Warfare where SBMM was seemingly cranked up to the max. I'm convinced it was in that game as I did not play one match of AW and not need a shower after it. Sweatiest lobbies ever. And Call of Duty in-depth YouTuber Drifter, who usually knows his stuff, concluded that SBMM is indeed in the game. But what about the next titles? In COD World War II, Drifter actually bet people $1,000 to prove SBMM exists in the game with a scientific study. Yes, this is how seriously we're taking this. To summarise, they basically found that matchmaking was based around your win-loss ratio, but if this video is about myths, then why is this here? It definitely exists, so it's not a myth. Yes and no. It's never going to be 100% proven, so I think it does still fall into the myth category. And whether you love him or hate him, the co-founder of Sledgehammer Games even said that SBMM is not in the game. Could he be lying? Yes, of course, that's a possibility, but honestly at this point, my brain is beginning to hurt. And lastly, the final myth is that your console will explode if you jump on the B flag in domination. All of my teammates seem to think this is the case anyway. Folks, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do leave a like on it. Let's go for 2,000 likes again. I know you can get that done. And let me know in the comments what you think of these myths, as well as any myths not covered in this video, especially multiplayer ones. One last call for the new people here to subscribe. It'd be great to have you around the channel more. Have a nice day and I'll see you in the next video.